Well, good morning, Whaler Nation, and welcome to the Nantucket Sports Connection and NCTV's presentation of Nantucket Whalers Athletics as we open the 2025 Nantucket Whaler football season right here from Brockton, Massachusetts. For the first time, we are covering Nantucket football on the road during the regular season. Also, for the first time, we are live on the NSC from Potvin Field here in Brockton. My name is DC Collins, filling in for Chris Morris to open it up for the 2025 Nantucket Whalers football season. Your Whalers take on the Cardinals of Cardinal Spellman today in a rematch from their mutual season opener on the island last year, which Nantucket won. This is the Nantucket Sports Connection on YouTube and locally on NCTV HD channel 1072 on Xfinity Comcast. While we're on the subject, feel free to throw us a like and subscribe on the YouTube page. All you have to do is type in youtube.com/@Nantucket Sports Connection. Search Nantucket Sports Connection on YouTube. You will find a list of all the games that we have broadcast and all the games that we plan to broadcast, not only for football, but for the upcoming fall season. And it will alert you when those games are being broadcast. You can ring the bell, and while you're there, you get a ping when we hit the big red button to bring it to you live on the air with Whalers Action. We are also on Instagram at ACK Sports Connection. That's ACK Sports Connection. Also on Facebook and on TikTok as well. And we are also commandeering the Twitter account for NCTV. You can check us out on x.com/OURNCTV. That's x.com/OURNCTV on Twitter. Happy to be hanging out with us this morning, and this afternoon is our crew. NCTV station manager Charles Douglas spinning the dials and keeping us on the air in the director's chair. NCTV's head of production, Frank Shadd, is making a special appearance today. He'll have our live visuals, and alongside him is our Nantucket High School senior, Adriana Graham, who will be up top in the perch next to me, our student camera operator, who will be providing the close-up shots of the action on the field. And we're also proud to say that Adriana is a returning member of the Sports Connection crew, doing a stellar job on baseball this last spring season in 2024-2025. Also like to tip our hats to the NSC co-founders Chris Morris and Sean Davis. Although they are unable to be here with us today, it's still the summer season for them. We certainly appreciate all their efforts and their respective endeavors, and we'll have them back on the broadcast as we head deeper into the fall. Chris Morris will bring you the action for a Nantucket football home opener next Saturday afternoon. Also deserving a shout-out, the returning NSC student crew members Colby Lucas and Weston Scott. We wish Colby the best as the Whalers golf team is already racking up the wins. And we've also received word that Weston will be on our production crew at our football home game, the home opener, which is the next football game next Saturday, September 13th, as the Whalers will host Carver. We'll have that game action for you live next Saturday at 1 o'clock. Before we get to today's game preview, we do want to thank our founding underwriter for sports here on the NSC and NCTV. That is the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation. They have made the students of Nantucket High School a priority of their philanthropic efforts and have continued these efforts with their support of our broadcast. The Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, proud supporters of Nantucket Whalers Athletics here on the NSC and NCTV.
The Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank its founding sponsor, the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, whose mission is to promote the positive development and enrichment of Nantucket's children. For more information on the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, go to nantucketgolfclub.com.
Underwriting support for this Whalers football broadcast on the NSC provided in part by Nantucket Bank and Rockland Trust, providing financial education and resources to local communities for over a century. Rockland Trust Bank, where each relationship matters.
Underwriting support for the NSC is brought to you in part by Myrick, the largest full-service law firm in Central Mass, also serving the Cape and Islands. Visit MyrickLaw.com to learn how Myrick can assist you with your legal needs.
Support for the NSC provided in part by Highline Cruises, providing year-round high-speed service to Nantucket since 1996. For more info, visit HighlineCruises.com.
NCTV and the Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank our Nantucket business sponsors for their support of today's Whalers broadcast.
Back here at Potman Field in Brockton, Massachusetts, we are just about 15 minutes away from the opening kickoff of the 2025 season as Nantucket takes on Cardinal Spellman here this afternoon on the NSC and NCTV. Welcome back to Nantucket Sports Connection's live broadcast. It's brought to you thanks to all those local businesses and organizations that you just saw sponsoring our coverage here on the NSC and NCTV. This is a learning opportunity on the island for the students and our crew, as well as we hope an engaging live stream for all of you, whether you're listening in your car, tuning in from the boat, watching on TV at the local watering hole, including the Chicken Box this afternoon, or catching the live stream as we have Whaler Nation spread out across the Commonwealth and all over the world. We'd also like to welcome in our audience from Cardinal Spellman High School, the family and friends from the greater Brockton area and beyond, as we are happy to play host to the Cardinals just 364 days ago. Well, the Whalers last year finished with a record of 4 wins and 8 losses under head coach Reese Everett, who you'll be hearing from in just a few moments here on the NSC and NCTV. They had an 18 ranking in Division 7. While on the outside looking in for the tournament, Nantucket finished strong with 2 wins to wrap up the season, including that big 22-14 overtime win at Fenway Park up in Boston against Martha's Vineyard last November, which you saw right here on the NSC and NCTV. Cardinal Spellman, though, they had a rough 2024 season. They finished 2 wins, 9 losses, ranked 26 in Division 6. However, their only 2 wins against Rockland and Arlington Catholic were on their home turf here in Brockton, where we play today. Cardinal Spellman fared better in their 2023 campaign, finishing 7-3, entering the MIAA postseason, ranked 6th in Division 3. After besting St. Mary's, they fell in a shutout 55-0 to number 3 ranked Salem in the Elite 8. That was in 2023. Whalers fell 12-0 to the Cardinals in their last meeting up here in Brockton, and that was in 2022. However, Nantucket won the day in their prior matchup when they hosted Cardinal Spellman in their first visit to the island. That was a 24-14 win on Veterans Day back in 2021. Their most recent game back at Vito Capizzo Stadium on Nantucket saw the Whalers and Crusaders held scoreless in the first half before Nantucket went up by 2 touchdowns, and they wound up winning the game 14-7 on September 7th of last year. So even though he was only a sophomore, Eli McKeever was our NSC player of the game with a key pass reception and also an interception in the 2024 contest. And McKeever was showing off those skills again as a junior during the preseason scrimmage against the Putnam Beavers, which we have coverage from. Let's take a look at some of those highlights from just a few weeks ago. There you see some of the highlights of Nantucket's scrimmage on Nantucket just a few weeks ago against Putnam. Thanks to Charles Douglas for going out to film that as we gear up for this season. Charles and Frank also had the chance to hit the practice field last Thursday as the Whalers ran their final drills before today's contest. Frank created the awesome player profiles that you'll see later on in this broadcast. Charles had the opportunity to capture a few comments from Coach Reese Everett. Let's take a listen on his strategy for today's game.
I think our kids are ready to go. You know, their energy is high, they're playing fast, and we're starting back off where we ended last year. That's exactly what we needed. We're going to go in confidently that they're prepared for us, but our main goal is just to dominate our opponents each week. So we're going to go in a fresh slate. We're going to act like this team is the best team that we're going to play all year. We're going to dominate them, and we're going to go each week with the same mindset. I think if he stays level-headed, stays humble, and does his job, does everything that the coaches are asking him to do, he's going to excel very, very fast. But he's a very smart kid. You know, he's passionate. He loves his O-line, and that's the most important part. Those are the big plays that we're looking for, but it's always going to be, play by play. So we're always looking for the smaller play first, and then we can open up the big plays that are going to come. A lot of people are afraid of that Division VI title, but we love competition. So we're going to go in, we're going to compete with any guys that we take, and we're not going to be afraid of a competition.
So that was head coach Reese Everett, his keys to the game, which we'll focus on in just a few seconds. But I want to give you a little background on the second-year coach. He's originally from Springfield, Massachusetts, went to Springfield Central High School, where he played track and basketball, also went to Framingham State. Coaches track as well for Nantucket High School. He started as a volunteer for the football team under head coach Joe Perry. He loves to teach technique, especially to the offensive and defensive linemen. Wants to form a culture to support other Nantucket High School teams in the fall season and throughout the school year. Favorite beach on Nantucket for Coach Reese, you can catch him at Stone's taking a dip. Favorite restaurant, you might find him at Lola 41. And coaching, the highlight for him so far was that overtime win for Nantucket back in November against Martha's Vineyard up at Fenway Park in Boston. As you heard Coach Reese say, Jeremy Jenkinson, Aaron Hanlon, they will be relied on the most this season. Offensively, it's mostly going to be ground and pound for Nantucket as they rely on the wing T offense. Defensively, you'll see them set up in a 4-2-5 cover 3 defensive primarily. 60 players approximately on the Whalers football team between varsity and JV, so those numbers have certainly ticked up in the past few seasons. He wants the coaches to be all in this season, needs the players, and you heard him say it himself just a few moments ago, to dominate their opponent. And the goal this year is to make it to the playoffs for Nantucket. Other side of the ball, as far as Cardinal Spellman goes, as we talked to Coach Reese, Charles, and I just a few days ago, is they want to contain the running back, also pressure on the quarterback. Cardinals scrimmaged Abington, but not much was revealed as they used mostly backup and JV players. The NSC was also on hand for last weekend's repeat preseason visitors from Brighton to scrimmage. They even had Brighton student Elias Diaz lend us a hand on camera. We can check out some of those Whalers Bengal highlights from a few weeks ago right here on the NSC and NCTV. Moments away from kickoff here at Cardinal Spellman High School. Nantucket and Cardinal Spellman here in Brockton, Massachusetts. Hey, Whalers Nation, if you appreciate the work that we do at Nantucket Sports Connection for the past few years, myself, Charles, Frank, all the students involved, Chris Morris as well, please consider a contribution of any amount to our Staff Raise fundraiser running through the end of September. We will have a QR code up there as well and a way to donate. We will take a break, be back with more of our pregame show opening kickoff moments away for the 2025 season. It's the Nantucket Whalers and the Cardinal Spellman Cardinals right after these words here on the NSC and NCTV.
Whenever NCTV covers one of our games, I think it's awesome.
We have been able to capture so much incredible athletic history. It feels like we've been a part of it as much as the kids have been.
A lot of people have prior obligations. Maybe they can't make the event, and they still get to watch it and watch a great broadcast, see their kid playing.
It's nice for the parents, grandparents, and family that can't come or are not on the island to be able to see it, even if they can't attend in person. So I think that meant a lot to them.
the technology that we need is, it's not cheap. There are certain costs that go into this to make this happen. My hope for the broadcast is to just build the crew numbers, get more students involved, maybe add a few more cameras here and there, but, ultimately, we're here to grow. The more hands on deck, the better this can be, and ultimately that just comes back to the Nantucket community.
We're excited to take on soccer because it's coming. We're there. We're ready for it.
Back here at Cardinal Spellman High School in Brockton, Nantucket and Cardinal Spellman kickoff in just a few moments. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, and this is from the heart right here, DC Collins speaking. You just saw that QR code. If you'd like to see us expand the coverage to all the sports that Nantucket plays, whether it's girls soccer, whether it's volleyball, whether it's football, whether it's baseball, please, any donation counts. We appreciate the work that we do at Nantucket Sports Connection. I couldn't do it without these guys, Frank, Adriana, Charles, Chris Morris, Sean Davis. So show your support as well. Any amount to our Snap Raise fundraiser running through the end of September. We are going straight to our viewers who appreciate the high-quality coverage that we provide of all the Whalers action and providing you with the opportunity to let us know what you would like to see. If you want to see us expand our coverage to pick up girls soccer games, like I mentioned, and much more, girls hockey, girls basketball, boys hockey as well, please scan the QR code on the screen or visit our Snap Raise link. If you find us on Instagram at ACK Sports Connection, that's ACK Sports Connection, there's a link there as well. Every dollar counts as we look to maintain and upgrade our equipment and bring on board more sports, more games, and more trips off island like the game we're broadcasting today to keep up with the busy pace of Whaler sports. And we mentioned your support is appreciated, whether it's a donation. If you'd like to be an advertiser as well, you know where the studios are, right next to the Chicken Box on Dave Street. Stop by NCTV Monday through Friday during regular business hours. They'll set you up. You can be an advertiser here as well on the Nantucket Sports Connection and NCTV. So we are still waiting here in Brockton for Cardinal Spellman, the team, to actually come out of the gymnasium. They're ready to take their entrance on the field. You can see right now that Nantucket, the captains, have been waiting for about 5 or 6 minutes for Nantucket for the coin toss as the kickoff is set for 12 noon. 78 degrees right now in Brockton. It is a beautiful late sunny afternoon. We do have some wind that could wreak havoc on both of these teams out of the south, 15 miles per hour, gusting to 22 miles per hour. So basically the wind is blowing from the bottom right corner of your screen to the top left, sort of a crosswind, but it will favor who's ever moving right to left in the passing game today. Just about set to go, 12 minutes up on the board. Glad you could join us here on the NSC and NCTV. I'm DC Collins filling in for Chris Morris. He will be back next Saturday for Nantucket football's home opener at Vito Capizzo Stadium. Kickoff set for a little after 1 o'clock as they will host Carver for the home opener for Nantucket. Music has stopped, and you can see Cardinal Spellman about to make their grand entrance from the end zone to our right. And we will have the coin toss, and we are ready to go. Artificial turf here in Brockton, Massachusetts, home of the Cardinals. And we are just about set to go. Nantucket looking to improve. Remember, their last game of the season was that huge win in overtime against Martha's Vineyard, where they held off the Vineyarders up at Fenway Park in Boston, and looking to start 1-0 here this season as well. Coach Reese in his second year, looking to capitalize on that. The head coach is Ryan Donovan. Co-head coach is Ryan Donovan and Jaquan Johnson for Cardinal Spellman. Assistant coach for Nantucket, Mark Willett. Vaughn Machado, Morgan Perry, Terrell Correa. Matt Robbins, the JV assistant coach. TJ Grant, middle school head coach. And Cardinal Spellman still taking their sweet old time making the entrance for their first game of the season here. Interesting, the coach Reese told us they're going to primarily run a wing tee offense, Nantucket will, So not much of an air game unless they get behind or they feel the flow going. And they're concentrating on defense of stopping Cardinal Spellman's quarterback, number 2, Ronan Manning, and also True Carlton, who wears number 7. He is a sophomore. Manning is a senior. Liam Wrightington, number 1 for Cardinal Spellman, could be a threat if the Cardinals go to the air game. And here come the Cardinals on their home turf here at Potvin Field in Brockton. Cardinals will occupy the near sideline. Nantucket on the far sideline. Nantucket in their white uniforms with navy blue letters and numbers and the navy blue helmets. Cardinal Spellman in their dark red uniforms with white numerals and letters trimmed in gold, white helmets with the Cardinal on it as well.
Welcome to Cardinal Spellman High School to watch the Whalers of Nantucket take on the Cardinal Spellman Cardinals.
Whalers won their meeting at Vito Capizzo Stadium last year. It was the opening game for both teams, and they'll repeat it here today. Wrightington, also Max Nabset, the running back, and Zachary Villano, who will not play today, dressed in street clothes, coming out for the coin toss for Cardinal Spellman. For Nantucket, Keegan Bedell out there. Burke Lombardi out there as well. Andrew Lavin, the center for Nantucket, to take the coin toss. Also Aaron Hanlon. And he is joined by Jeremy Jenkinson, the 5 representatives for Nantucket. Nantucket cheerleaders also out there as well. So you see the close-up of the coin toss. Officials ready to throw it up in the air, and we will just be about ready to go here. Again, 78 degrees, sun peeking through the clouds. Rain showers should hold off until after we're done here. It is definitely humid, so hydration could be a key factor for both teams, and the wind as well. Blowing from the south, so right to left, 15 miles per hour, gusting up to 25 miles per hour today. That could affect the air game and also the kicking game here in the first game of the season for both teams. Coin toss in the air. And it looks like Nantucket won it. They did win the coin toss, and Nantucket has decided to defer to the second half. Which most likely means that Cardinal Spellman will receive the opening kickoff here this afternoon. And Nantucket, once they get the ball, will be going into the wind, it looks like. See what the officials say. So Cardinal Spellman will receive the opening kickoff, and they will go against the wind for their first offensive drive. Thanks for joining us again here on the Nantucket Sports Connection NCTV, Comcast Xfinity Channel 1072, and on YouTube as well, whether you're on the island in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts or worldwide. Glad to bring you today's action as both teams are hyped up and we are set to go to kick it off here for 2025. Quarterback for Cardinal Spellman will be number 2, Ronan Manning. Again, watch out for Liam Wrightington, number 1, one of the receivers with deadly speed, according to some of the Cardinal Spellman parents. As we will keep it right here for our national anthem, Nantucket and Cardinal Spellman 2025 season opener, coming your way in just moments here on the NSC and NCTV after America's national anthem.
Please rise for the national anthem.
Well, you can see by those pictures provided by Frank and Adriana up here on the perch on top of the press box here at Cardinal Spellman. The American flag is starched, so win definitely something to contend with as we go through this afternoon. Back deep to receive the kickoff for Cardinal Spellman, number 1, Liam Wrightington, and number 12, Daniel Walks. As Cardinal Spellman in their red jerseys will be moving left to right across your screen here to start this first quarter. Nantucket's still in the huddle, but ready to make the kickoff from the 40-yard line. 12 minutes up on the board as we're ready to start the 2025 season opener. Whalers Nation, are you ready to kick off for Nantucket? It'll be Jake Clark, the junior, number 23. And this time Cardinal Spellman has switched it up. Jacobson now back deep to receive the kickoff, number 21, along with Walks. Clark ready to approach for Nantucket for the kickoff. 12 minutes up on the board. And we are underway with Nantucket Whalers football for the 2025 season as he slams this one into the end zone. So that'll be a touchback. And Cardinal Spellman will start in their own territory. Again, aided by the wind, Jack Clark put a boot into it. And so Spellman starting 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. The quarterback is the senior Ronan Manning, number 2. And officials call timeout for a moment. Now we are ready to go as the play clock starts to run. 2 wide receivers for either side, and Manning sets up in the shotgun. Opening play might be a little tricky as the handoff this time goes underneath. Maybe a gain of a half yard or so as the give went to number 12, Daniel Walks. Nantucket all over him, and they put the nose of the football right back at the 20-yard line, so no gain. Spread offense shown by Cardinal Spellman, but instead they just decided for an inside handoff, and Nantucket was all over it. So 2nd and 20 now for Cardinal Spellman, just underway, no score, 11:30 remaining here in the first quarter. 3 wide receivers, trips to the far side of the field. Manning in the shotgun. Again, the handoff this time goes to Walks, tries the left-hand side. Flags are down as he's pushed towards the sidelines. Maybe a pickup of a yard or so, but we'll have to check the penalty marker. Clock stops with 11:15 to go here in the first quarter. And it looks like it's going to go against the Cardinals. As the officials come over to ask what Nantucket wants to do, if they want to accept it or decline it. Ball's placed at between the 20 and 21-yard line, holding against Cardinal Spellman. Nantucket declines it, so instead of pushing them back, they'll take the down. So now 3rd and a long 9 for Cardinal Spellman. Still no score. Clock running, 11:13 to play here in quarter number 1 in Brockton. First 2 plays, Cardinal Spellman ran with that spread offense in a passing formation, but both times delayed handoff to Walks, number 12. And here comes Manning in with the call for Spellman from the sideline, the quarterback for the Cardinals. Again, they'll spread it wide. 3 receivers to the near side of the field. Walks stands next to the quarterback, Manning in the shotgun. He will roll out to throw, being pressured and being taken down for the sack. Russell Simpson, the junior for Nantucket, with a loss of 13 yards. And that brings up a 4th down for Cardinal Spellman. Oh, great pursuit right there for Simpson for Nantucket. Manning had nowhere to go. Simpson threw him to the ground. A sack for a loss of about 13 yards. And now Cardinal Spellman forced to punt as the ball rests at their own 9-yard line. Back deep to punt, Liam Wrightington standing in his own end zone. For Nantucket, Aaron Hanlon standing at the Spellman 42-yard line. Kicking into the wind is Wrightington. See how this affects it. Snap back, kick is away, low line drive, end over end kick. It takes a bounce and will roll out of bounds at the Spellman 44-yard line. Hanlon thought about picking it up, but let it roll out of bounds instead. And the Whalers will start off their first possession of the 2025 season in Cardinal Spellman territory. 1st and 10 for Nantucket, right at the 44 of Spellman. So here's a chance for Nantucket to debut their offense. Burke Lombardi, the sophomore, will be under center. Sends the receiver to the near side. That's Silva. And also joining him is Grimes. Lombardi in the shotgun. Takes the snap at the 50. Throws downfield, wide open, and off the fingertips of the receiver. Just a little bit too far ahead for Grimes. If he had it, he would have went in for 6. Great look, but just thrown a little too far. Penalty marker down, though, so we'll have to check this out. But, wow, Nantucket going for the home run on their first offensive play of the 2025 season. And the penalty is against Nantucket. Looks like a chop block. And so the Whalers will be pushed back. And coaching staff does not like that. I think what happened is a player was engaged and another Nantucket lineman came over and cut underneath. So Nantucket pushed back now back into their own territory at their own 46. PA announcer says offensive holding. So scoreboard says 2nd and 20. It should be 1st and 20. Here's a handoff now and trying to get to the outside, but going nowhere is Hanlon. Couldn't cut the corner. Great pursuit there by Max Nabset, the safety. And so a loss of about 2 yards. And now that will bring up 2nd down at about 22 for Nantucket. Still no score, clock running, 9:25 remaining here in the first quarter. Nantucket started the drive at the Cardinal Spellman 44-yard line. Now they're pushed back with a penalty and a loss on the running play back to their own 42-yard line. Lombardi in the shotgun right now. Takes the snap. Handoff this time goes to the right-hand side. That's Jenkinson turning the corner. Has room at the 50 to the 45 into Cardinal Spellman territory. Finally wrapped up and taken down at the 43-yard line. So a nice game there for Canton Jenkinson, the senior. It'll bring up, though, 3rd and about 9 for Nantucket. Nantucket with the wind at their back here in the first quarter. Clock running, 8:37 to go, still no score. Spellman had a 3-and-out. In fact, lost yards on their first drive. Nantucket, this is their first drive of the season. Lombardi again in the shotgun. Delayed handoff, backwards pass. This time it's completed to Hanlon. Hanlon's got some room. Dragged down at the 32-yard line. Should be enough for a first down. And Nantucket will keep the drive going with the 3rd down conversion. And there's an injured player on the field. That's Wrightington, their punter, and also wide receiver and safety for Spellman. A little shaken up. Gets up under his own power, though, and will head to the sidelines. But he is out for this play. Replacing him is number 30, Jaden Azevedo. Officials mark the ball at the Cardinal Spellman 30-yard line. It is a first down for Nantucket, so the drive continues. It started at the Spellman 44. Lombardi in the shotgun. Fakes the pass, handoff inside. This time it's Gillian Tavares rumbling and stumbling and falling his way forward to the 18-yard line. It's another first down on the ground for Nantucket as the drive continues. And now another player for Cardinal Spellman is shaken up. That's one of their defensive linemen, sophomore number 74, Alex Caposi. So back-to-back injuries for Spellman. Nantucket keeps the drive alive. It is 1st and 10 for the Whalers. Ball on the right hash mark as they move right to left. 1st and 10 for Nantucket. 7:30 to play here in the first quarter. Still no score, but the Whalers putting pressure on Cardinal Spellman here in their opening drive. Lombardi back to pass, firing to the right-hand side, to the end zone. Up and caught for the touchdown! Nantucket! Tristan Grimes hauls it in from 17 yards away. And the Whalers score their first touchdown here with 7:20 to go in the first quarter. And the Whalers take a 6-0 lead. Oh, he was wide open in the corner of the end zone. You can see it. Got behind the defense, hauled it in. Great concentration right there. And Nantucket takes the lead here in the first game of the 2025 campaign. On to attempt the extra point, Jake Clark, the junior. Simpson, the holder. Again, the wind at the backs of Nantucket for the first quarter. Snap placed down, kick is up, and it is good. So a 17-yard touchdown pass from Lombardi to Grimes puts Nantucket on the board 6-0. Clark adds the extra point, and with 7:20 to play here in the first quarter, it's Nantucket 7 and Cardinal Spellman nothing. We'll take a quick timeout and be back with the kickoff after this here on the NSC and NCTV. Here's the kickoff, and it's fielded at the 2, bobbled momentarily by Walks, picks it up at the 10, 15, gets out to the 20, and wrestled down. Good pursuit there by Russell Simpson. And so the Cardinals will start 1st and 10 from their own 20. 7:15 to go here in the first quarter. Nantucket with a 7-0 lead over the Cardinals on the 17-yard TD pass from Lombardi to Grimes. And so Nantucket, on their opening drive, scores. They went backwards on their first 2 plays with a penalty and a loss on a rushing play, but able to recover and put it in the end zone. So the ball on the right hash mark again. The Cardinals going into the wind. Temperature around 80 degrees here in Brockton today. Sun is shining, very humid, and the wind blowing right to left across your screen. Manning sets up in the shotgun, and whistle and penalty marker down, and let's see who this will be on. Looks like a false start. It is a false start against the Cardinals. So instead of 1st and 10 for Cardinal Spellman at their own 20, backed up 5 yards to the 15-yard line. Again, their last drive went backwards, and they had to punt from their own end zone. 7-0 Whalers. 7:15 to play here in the first quarter. Manning comes in from the sideline, the quarterback for Cardinal Spellman with the play. Up front for Nantucket, you've got Russell Simpson, who's been all over the place. Also Ben Yates, Evan Cranston, and on the end, number 17, Keegan Canty. Nantucket shows blitz. Handoff on the inside to the left-hand side. Trying to push his way forward as Makai Nwoko, the sophomore, number 15, maybe picks up 2 yards or so. And it will bring up 2nd down and 13 from the Spellman 17-yard line. And again, Cardinal Spellman going with that spread offense with receivers spread out along the field, but deciding to run the ball on mostly inside handoffs. Nantucket has been aware of that early on, and has been able to stop that. Manning now in the shotgun. To his right is Nwoko. Takes the snap. Manning will decide to keep it himself, and he's wrestled down right there. Great play, great penetration by Jeremy Jenkinson. Tackle for a loss. And so this will bring up 3rd down and about 15 for the Cardinals.
3rd and 15 for the Cardinals.
They still can't get anything going offensively. 7-0 lead for Nantucket. Clock still running. 6:06 remaining here in the first quarter in Brockton. If Nantucket can hold again, that'll force Spellman to punt deep in their own territory. And Nantucket's first drive started at the Spellman 43-yard line. Ball rest, nose of the football resting on the 15-yard line on the right hash mark. Wrightington is checked back into the ball game for the Cardinals. He's at the top of your screen. Trips to the near side. Manning in the shotgun. Now Wrightington moves along the line of scrimmage. Manning back to pass, looking left, and he's taken down once again. Oh, Russell Simpson with another sack. And in fact, Manning's headgear falls off. Cardinal Spellman wanting a penalty right there. But another sack that time for Simpson. Oh, boy, he is a monster on defense overall, and that'll force Spellman to punt once again. 5:07 remaining in the first quarter. Nantucket with a 7-0 lead. Manning bewildered as he comes to the sideline, wanting a penalty as his helmet was knocked off. And back to punt again is Wrightington for Cardinal Spellman, standing about 8 yards deep in his end zone. 4:43 to go in the first quarter. A 7-0 lead for the Whalers. Snap back to Wrightington. High snap. And it's almost blocked end over end. Short kick. And not much on it as it takes a roll and will die right at the 22-yard line. Lots of pressure by Nantucket. And for the Whalers, excellent field position once again. They started their first drive at the Spellman 43-yard line. This time, they will start 1st and 10 at the 21. So Whalers have a chance here to open up a bigger lead as Lombardi, the sophomore quarterback, checks back in for Nantucket. 1st and 10 for the Whalers at the Spellman 21, ball on the right hash mark. 7-0 Nantucket, 4:27 remaining in the opening quarter. 2 receivers to the near side of the field. Throw over. This time it's caught by Silva. Has some room, tries to get past one defender. He does, gets past another. Still working his way and pushing forward inside the 10-yard line. Oh, a great effort there by Silva as Nantucket is close to a first down. Penalty marker, though, down on the field. We'll have to check and see what this is. Could be a holding call against Nantucket. But Nantucket right now running roughshod over Cardinal Spellman. They don't have an answer on defense or on offense. Clock is stopped with 4:15 remaining here in the first quarter. And the penalty will go against Nantucket, as they'll mark it back at the 31-yard line. So a block in the back against the Whalers. So it makes it 1st and 20. Julian Tavares stands behind Lombardi. Lombardi rolls out. Plenty of time to throw. Finds his receiver. It is caught and wrestled out of bounds. Is Canton Jenkinson. Officials will say he's inbounds. That's a pickup of about 16 yards in the air for Nantucket. And it'll bring up 2nd down at about 5 for the Whalers, as the ball is now at the 17-yard line of Cardinal Spellman. 3:40 remaining here in the first quarter. Sub out as Grimes goes to the sideline. Noah Stringer, the senior, comes back in. A little bit of confusion right now for Nantucket offensively. Lombardi in the shotgun. Behind him is Gillian Tavares. Handoff on a counter, and taking it close to the goal line is Hanlon, and he is dragged down at the 2. Oh, great mix-up there on the running game for Nantucket.
Hanlon takes it to the 1 for 1st and goal.
And it's a 1st and goal situation for Nantucket. Knocking on the doorstep as Lombardi comes back into the huddle for the Whalers. 3:06 to play in the first quarter. Still a 7-0 lead for the Whalers. There's a 17-yard touchdown pass from Lombardi to Grimes at about the 7:20 mark. And now they punch it in, and standing up going into the end zone is David Gillian Tavares. The junior scores another touchdown. Nantucket. And a 13-0 lead right now for the Whalers with 2:53 to go here in the first quarter. So a passing touchdown, now a running touchdown, and Nantucket looking to blow this open here early in the first quarter. Again, on to attempt the extra point is Clark. Kick is up, and it is good. Nantucket rolling along here in Brockton. Timeout on the field. We'll take one as well. 2:53 remaining in the first quarter. It's now Nantucket 14, Cardinal Spellman nothing. You're watching Whalers Athletics here on the NSC and NCTV. Back after this quick timeout.
Nantucket Ice is about community, camaraderie, confidence, jumping in, and being part of a team.
Back here in Brockton, Nantucket with a 14-0 lead, 2:53 to go in the first quarter as Clark kicks it off once again. And this one goes through the hands of the deep man Jacobson into the end zone. That'll be an automatic touchback for Cardinal Spellman as the Cardinals look bewildered right now. No answers on offense, no answers on defense. In fact, they haven't gained yards. They're actually -6 in offensive yardage so far. And Nantucket with a 14-0 lead, 2:53 to play here in the first quarter. It's first down and 10 for Cardinal Spellman.
It's first down and 10, Charles.
And for the Cardinals, starting at their own 20-yard line once again. The big boys up front for Nantucket have done a fabulous job of containing Manning and the running backs, including Simpson, the left end, who's had 2 sacks so far. Manning lines up in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 up top. Manning takes the snap, another handoff. This time it goes in the middle to Nwoku, and he's wrapped up and pushed back again. Maybe gained a couple of inches, but that's it. And a second down situation coming up for Cardinal Spellman. They give him forward progress, so call it 2nd and 9.5. Cardinal Spellman again moving into the wind. Temperature about 80 degrees here in Brockton. Very humid. Sun is shining. The showers should hold off until later on this afternoon after we're finished here. But the wind blowing from right to left, 20 miles per hour, gusting to 25 miles per hour. So Spellman into the wind for the rest of this first quarter. Manning in the shotgun once again. Takes the snap. Handoff to the left-hand side. Room to run as Walks. Finally turns the corner, gets to the 25, and pushed out of bounds as he reaches the 27-yard line. So a pickup of about 6 yards, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 2 for the Cardinals with the ball at their own. I'll call it 3rd and 3. Cardinals from their own 27-yard line. Cardinal Spellman still looking for their first down of this ball game. As we have 2:04 remaining in the first quarter, Whalers up 14-0. A 17-yard touchdown pass from Lombardi to Grimes with 7:20 to go in the first quarter, and then with 2:53 to go. It was David Gillian Tavares, the junior, punching it in from 1 yard out. And Clark connected on both extra points. Manning in the shotgun once again. 1 receiver up top. 2 down low to the near side. Takes the snap. And fakes the handoff. Tries to keep it himself. Gets to the 29. Still pushing forward. And the pile will move across the 30 to the 31-yard line, and that is the first down for Cardinal Spellman. And it comes with 1:57 to go in the first quarter. You can hear some of the Cardinal Spellman fans to our right cheering. Not much to cheer about here in the first quarter, so they'll cheer on a first down. Nantucket's defense has been superb. Manning back to the huddle. We'll send 2 receivers to the near side of the field. That's Nabstedt, number 3, Andrew Kamama, number 4. 1 receiver up top. Manning in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Handoff this time. Nantucket waits for it. Walks, gets hauled down behind the line of scrimmage. So unless he's going to throw, which he has only once or twice, that inside handoff, delayed handoff to the running back is not working. And because Cardinal Spellman is putting 2 or 3 receivers far enough away from the huddle and the line of scrimmage, they don't get the blocking, they don't get the strength to try to push him ahead. So the handoff to Walks, and we've seen it happen to Wrightington sometimes, it's just not there. There's no room to run. Nantucket's doing a great job on defense of collapsing. Again, same formation. 1 receiver up top, 2 down low, Manning in the shotgun with a running back standing right next to him. This time he fakes, going back to pass, throws up, it's intercepted, picked off by Nantucket. Here is Jacobson to the house, a pick 6, and the Whalers go up 20-0 with 25 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Oh, again some pressure, and Manning had nowhere to go, throws off of his back foot, and the Whalers take advantage. It's a 23-yard interception for a touchdown. 28-yard, and you see the pressure right there, throws it up. Jenkinson has all kinds of daylight in front of him and takes it to the house. Great pressure there by Keegan Canty, forcing the interception. And the Whalers running away with it here in Brockton right now with a 20-0 lead and 25 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Here's Clark for the extra point. Snap placed down, kick is up, and it is good. It sneaks inside the right upright, and Nantucket plowing through. A 28-yard interception by Jeremy Jenkinson. 25 seconds to go in the first quarter. Nantucket 21, Cardinal Spellman nothing. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout. Be back with the kickoff after these words on the NSC and NCTV.
The Nantucket Booster Club is a vital link between our community and Whalers athletics.
Volunteering for the Booster Club, it's a blast. More than money, we need members. We need to build our community bigger and better to help our student athletes prepare for the next chapter in their life.
Back here in Brockton, it's all Whalers here with 25 seconds to play in the first quarter. They've got a 21-0 lead. As the kickoff is taken by Jacobson at the 10-yard line. And ball almost came loose. And Nantucket has it. It did come loose. Fumble recovery by the Whalers. They have it 1st and 10 at the Cardinal Spellman 20-yard line. Oh, Jacobson got rocked, and he's a little shaken up as he goes back on defense, but the Whalers in excellent field position. All of their drives have started in the Cardinal Spellman territory. So it's been easy peasy for the Whalers here in the first quarter. They've got it 1st and 10 at the Spellman 21-yard line. A 21-0 lead for Nantucket, just 19 seconds remaining in the first quarter, and it has been all Whalers. Silva down low, one of the receivers up top is Jenkinson. Lombardi in the shotgun again, back to pass, looking left, firing for the end zone. He's got Silva there, and it's incomplete, but a penalty marker is down, and that could be pass interference against Walks of Cardinal Spellman. Lombardi immediately going for the home run, lofted it up there, and we'll have to check the penalty marker. Lots of contact. And Cardinal Spellman moving back, so it looks like this penalty will go against the defense. They will walk it off, pass interference against Cardinal Spellman. So that's an automatic first down for Nantucket, and they have it 1st and 10. Ball on the right hash mark at the 10-yard line of Spellman. See if they try the same play again. Sophomore Silva down low. Lombardi in the shotgun. 1st and 10, they'll mark the ball just outside of the 10-yard line, so Nantucket can get a first down without a touchdown. But guess what? Into the end zone for another touchdown, Eli McKeever. Nope, they'll mark him down at the half-yard line. And that should do it for the first quarter. All Nantucket in the first game of the season here in Brockton. Whalers are rolling right now, 21-0 over Cardinal Spellman. We'll be back with the start of the second quarter right after these words. You're watching Whalers Athletics here on the NSC and NCTV.
The Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank its founding sponsor, the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, whose mission is to promote the positive development and enrichment of Nantucket's children. For more information on the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, go to nantucketgolfclub.com.
Underwriting support for this Whalers football broadcast on the NSC provided in part by Nantucket Bank and Rockland Trust, providing financial education and resources to local communities for over a century. Rockland Trust Bank, where each relationship matters.
Underwriting support for the NSC is brought to you in part by MIAA, the largest full-service law firm in Central Mass, also serving the Cape and Islands. Visit MIAALaw.com to learn how MIAA can assist you with your legal needs.
Support for the NSC provided in part by Highline Cruises, providing year-round high-speed service to Nantucket since 1996. For more info, visit HighlineCruises.com.
NCTV and the Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank our Nantucket business sponsors for their support of today's Whalers broadcast.
Nantucket Ice is about community. Camaraderie. Confidence. Jumping in and being part of a team. Falling, but getting back up. It's about being part of the culture, friendships, experience. But ultimately, it's about being on the ice. Located in the heart of the island,
hand off and into the end zone. Guess what? Another touchdown, Nantucket. 11:57 to go in the second quarter. A 27-0 lead for Nantucket as prancing into the end zone is David Gillian Tavares. And Whalers are on the board once again, just 3 seconds into the second quarter, and they are rolling away with this one. Clark on to attempt the extra point. Want to say thank you down on the field and in the press box, too, to Charlie Holloman. On our scoreboard today, Jasmine Kasperzak and Annie Ard with the cheerleaders and running the cameras on the field. Thanks for your help with this production, NSC and NCTV. Snap placed down, kick is up, and it is good. 11:57 to go here in the second quarter. And Nantucket all over Cardinal Spellman right now, 28-0. We'll take a 30-second timeout. Be back with more Whalers athletics here on the NSC and NCTV.
Whaler Word is our own high school news broadcast that premieres once a week during the school year. We have just begun our second season, and our first 5 episodes are up and ready to watch. We cover everything from school news updates, arts and entertainment, sports, and weather.
Whaler Word is a student-run production that meets before and after school.
We do our own writing, filming, and editing, you name it.
Please make sure to check us out on the Nantucket High School YouTube channel and our Instagram at Whaler_Word.
Catch a glimpse of...
Here is the kickoff. Taken on a hop this time by Walks of Cardinal Spellman. Makes his way out to about the 29-yard line. And that's where Cardinal Spellman will start. Best field position of the afternoon for them. With 11:52 to play in the second quarter, a 28-0 lead for Nantucket. Actually, the officials will mark it at the 30-yard line. As Cardinal Spellman will now have... Well, the wind was at their back, but now it's blowing from the bottom of your screen across the field towards the top. So from the Cardinal Spellman near sideline over to Nantucket. So sort of a crosswind for the Cardinals to deal with here in the second quarter. They've got a lot more to deal with, though, because Nantucket's defense has given up almost nothing on the ground or in the air. And Ronan Manning has been beaten, bruised, and battered here early on. Takes the snap from the shotgun, fakes the handoff, tries to turn the corner, and gets wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage, a loss of about 1.5 yards. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 12 for Spellman. A passing touchdown, Lombardi to Grimes, got Nantucket on the scoreboard with 7:20 to go in the first quarter. Then Julian Tavares with a 1-yard touchdown run with 2:53 to go in the first quarter. A 32-yard interception by Jeremy Jenkinson with 25 seconds to go in the first quarter for Nantucket. That's 3 touchdowns. In the fourth one, it was Jenkinson, actually, with 11:57 to go in the second quarter, punched it in from 1 yard out. So Nantucket spreading the scoring around, offense, defense, and now a timeout call by the officials. As Ronan Manning making his way back to the sideline. And they're saying he's not eligible for this play. So either his helmet popped off and he has to come out for a play. And now A.J. Dick, the freshman, number 5, you see him running towards the huddle. He might be getting thrown to the wolves of Nantucket's defense here, as he will be the quarterback for one play. It is 2nd and 11 for Cardinal Spellman. Clock running, 10:40 to go in the second quarter. Whalers on top, 28-0. And a whistle and false start against Cardinal Spellman. So it goes from bad to worse here for the Cardinals. And now let's see if Manning is eligible to come in. He's not, though, because they're still working on his helmet down along the sidelines. Now he'll come back in. So even though Cardinal Spellman lost 5 yards on the penalty, they didn't lose Manning to a play because there was no play called. He is back in now. And it might be because there was a play not run that Manning still has to come out. Yes. So Dick is going to have to go back in. Manning, because there was an issue with his helmet a few moments ago, still has to stay on the sideline because an official football play was not run. And they're still working on his helmet right now, trying to tighten it up along the sideline. So after all that, ball resting on the 24-yard line for Cardinal Spellman. Second down. And 16. Dick in the shotgun, going back. He'll try to pass, rolls to his left, being chased, and will tuck it under and get wrapped up and hauled to the ground by Aaron Hanlon. And the ball comes loose. They're going to say, though, that Dick was down. And Nantucket almost with another turnover recovery, but a loss on the play, and now third down and forever for Cardinal Spellman. As the ball now sits at the 18-yard line on the left hash mark. Clock running, 9:36, 9:35 to go here in the second quarter. Whalers on top, 28-0. Manning fixes his helmet and now is back in under center for Spellman. Three receivers to the wide side of the field, that's up top. One receiver down low, that's Wrightington. Manning with a running back behind him. Manning looking to pass, pressure on, throws it, and it is incomplete, almost intercepted. Bunch of white jerseys in the area as Manning couldn't get much on it. Hanlon was the closest defensive receiver for Nantucket. Ball falls incomplete, and Cardinal Spellman forced to punt once again as it's fourth down and Taunton for Cardinal Spellman as we are live here in Brockton, Massachusetts. Opening game of the 2025 football season. It's all Nantucket as they have a 28-0 lead. Clock stop with 9:05 remaining here in the first half. Wrightington back to punt. Two receivers back deep now for Nantucket. Silva to the near side. Low snap. Kick is shanked towards the near sideline and will go out of bounds. And let's see where the officials mark it. Again, Nantucket will start with possession in Cardinal Spellman territory. 1st and 10 for the Whalers, going left to right at the Spellman 35-yard line. 28-0 Nantucket, 8:58 to go here in the second quarter. Whalers would love to punch it in. They'd love to get it to running time. And the PA announcer said flag on the play. I don't see a penalty marker, but there is a conference right now. Whalers will host Carver next Saturday, Vito Capizzo Stadium. Our coverage will begin at approximately 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Nantucket, live here on the Nantucket Sports Connection on NCTV, on YouTube, and also on Comcast Xfinity Channel 1072. Glad you could join us here from Brockton, Massachusetts. I'm DC Collins, in for the voice of Whaler Sports, Chris Morris. Frank, Adriana up top on the perch with me. Charles Douglas down below in the press box for our opening broadcast of the 2025 Whalers football season. And it's been all Nantucket here on this hot and sticky afternoon in Brockton. 80 degrees, wind blowing, it is humid. Penalty is declined, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Whalers at the Cardinal Spellman 35.
Penalty decline sets up the Whalers 1st and 10 from the 35.
Each possession for the Whalers has started inside Cardinal Spellman territory. Receiver up top is Silva. Grimes down low. Lombardi in the shotgun. See if he goes for the home run again. Fires it out to the left-hand side. Here's Silva with it, trying to make a move. He is wrapped up there by Walks, who holds on, and a gang of tacklers from Spellman come over to take him down to the ground. A pickup of about 5 yards for Nantucket. It'll be 2nd and 5 right now from the Cardinal Spellman 30-yard line. Ball on the left hash mark. See if Lombardi goes for the big pass once again. Walks coming out of the lineup. And sent back in is Isom. Spellman only had 10 players on the field. Here's the pass to the left-hand side. Picked up. Oh, what a great move, but stepping out of bounds is Silva. He faked out both defenders, but his left toe slipped on the sideline. You can see it right here on the replay. Otherwise, he was headed for the goal line for the touchdown. What a great pass. Stopped right there, but that's when he stepped out of bounds. Otherwise, he would have been in the end zone for another Nantucket touchdown. Instead, though, he does pick up the first down, and it's 1st and goal for Nantucket at the Cardinal Spellman 8. Clock running with 8 minutes to go here in the first half. 28-0 lead for the Whalers.
Yeah, I just thought I'd give him a little character.
Silva, you see right there, the sophomore, 5'11", 158 pounds. Lombardi in the shotgun, 3 receivers to the wide side of the field. Lombardi looks right, plenty of time, rolling, fires to the end zone, wide open, another touchdown, Nantucket! It's Grimes with the reception, an 8-yard touchdown pass from Lombardi, 7:38 remaining here in the second quarter, and now it's a 34-0 lead for the Whalers, as Grimes picks up his second touchdown pass reception of the afternoon, this one from 8 yards out. Clark on to attempt the extra point with 7:38 to go here in the second quarter to make it 35-0. Snap placed down, kick is up, and it is good. Clark with an excellent day as well, 5 for 5 on extra point attempts, and that makes the lead Nantucket 35, Cardinal Spellman 0. 7:38 remaining in the first half. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout. Back with the kickoff after these words on the NSC and NCTV. So Clark to kick off. Another Nantucket touchdown. They've got 5 this afternoon. And the Whalers just pummeling Cardinal Spellman right now. 35-0, 7:38 to go before halftime. This one taken on the run. Nice pickup there by Wrightington. Has some room at the 25 and gets hauled down as he crosses the 30-yard line. And Spellman will have it 1st and 10 for the Cardinals at their own 32-yard line. Well, what a great start for Coach Reese. Expected it to be a tough battle. And these games between Cardinal Spellman and Nantucket have been close over the past few years, alternating back and forth. But, you know, Coach Reese, he kept saying to us, and you saw it in the preview that Charles and Frank recorded, Coach Reese on camera saying, dominate your opponent. And that was the focus of what he told us when we met with him in person off camera about a week and a half ago for some coffee and some breakfast. As this pass is it backwards? No, it is incomplete. A forward pass as Manning intended it to go to Walks, but hits the ground and it falls incomplete, 2nd and 10. But he just kept saying, dominate the opponent, and teaching technique as well. That's what Coach Reese is focused on, and you can see especially on defense. And we'll call his name again, Russell Simpson, with 2 incredible sacks today and getting pressure on Manning anytime he's tried to drop back for a pass for Cardinal Spellman. $35-0 Nantucket, 7:28 to go, and you see Russell Simpson right there, 6 foot, 170 pounds. The junior just looks for you. Look at that look. Looks like he's ready to destroy the quarterback, and he has so far. And now motion, and let's see, I believe they're going to get Walks for moving forward. Another penalty against the Cardinals. And this will go against Cardinal Spellman. It's a false start, so just as the Cardinals try to move forward, they take 5 yards back. And so now the ball at their own 27-yard line on the left hash mark. 2nd down and 15. Again, 3 receivers up top. Manning in the shotgun, 1 receiver down low. In motion, this is Walks. Manning takes the snap, pressure, throws downfield. and overthrew Wrightington. He had a step on the defender, but just too far out of his reach. So that brings up 3rd and 15 for Cardinal Spellman. Nantucket cheerleaders have made their way over onto the mainland here. Great support. A couple of Nantucket fans down below us in the stands as well. We certainly thank you for making the trip over. And for those of you watching or listening at home, hey, we thank you for tuning in on YouTube, also the NSC, and on Comcast Xfinity Channel 1072. We're looking for your support so we can cover more Nantucket athletics and your support for football games on the road as well, as Wrightington has come to the sideline and has taken off his helmet. And a timeout called by Cardinal Spellman. And number 1 down there, Liam Wrightington, they talked about a few seconds ago, came off the field, and now it looks like he's adjusting his jersey. He was not too happy, so I'm not sure if he's injured or just frustrated looking up at the scoreboard. But Nantucket with a 35-0 lead, 7:14 to go before halftime. 2 timeouts remaining for the Cardinals, all 3 left for the Whalers, and it has been all Nantucket. Again, we're looking for your support, whether you're a business that would love to advertise on the NSC and NCTV. We love to have that. Or our SNAP fundraiser as well. Or you can just drop off a donation at the NCTV studios right there on Dave Street across from the big Stop and Shop. Anything that you can provide will certainly help in our coverage of Nantucket athletics. We know how hard it is for some of you to attend the events when they take place in the afternoon. That's why we're here. You can watch it on your phone at work or at home if you're cooking dinner or whatever you're doing. The NSC on NCTV, proud home of Whalers athletics on the video side on the island. I'm DC Collins, sitting in for Chris Morris, the voice of Nantucket Whalers sports here on the NSC and NCTV. Chris will be back for the home opener against Carver next Saturday. 1 o'clock our coverage begins. Frank and Adriana up here on top of the press box. Charles Douglas spinning the magic down below. And we certainly thank you for joining us here on the Nantucket Sports Connection and NCTV. 80 degrees here in Brockton, Massachusetts. It's sticky, it's humid. The rain showers should hold off until after we're done here. Wind has been blowing from right to left for a majority of this game, so the Cardinals have it at their backs for the next 7 minutes and 14 seconds before halftime.
Student section in whiteout today, always bringing the noise.
Manning in the shotgun once again. 3 receivers up top. Takes the snap, looking right, fires, and it is caught as Manning gets decked. And it's, breaking a tackle. Here's Nabstead. Nabstead still running, being chased down there by Jenkinson, and finally wrestled down at the 30. Nantucket had about 2 or 3 opportunities to pull him down. Biggest offensive play of the game so far for Cardinal Spellman with 7 minutes to go in the first half. But a huge pickup for the senior Max Nabstead, as he's finally brought down at the 32-yard line. And this is the first time that the Cardinals have been in Whaler territory all afternoon. And only the second first down that they've picked up in the ball game today. Manning again in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the near side, down low. Manning takes the snap, looking left, looking pressured, wrapped up, and hauled down once again. First one to get to him for Nantucket, Keegan Canty. And there's a loss right there as he's hauled down back at the 40-yard line. And a timeout called by Nantucket. So that will stop the clock. 6:15 to go before the half. Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining. 6:13 to go on the scoreboard clock. 35-0 Nantucket after the sack. And it drops the ball all the way back to the Nantucket 40-yard line. So again, as Cardinal Spellman has some positive plays, they've been shooting themselves in the foot and going back right after a great offensive play. So Spellman looking to generate some kind of offense before halftime. It's been all Nantucket. It started out with a 17-yard pass from Lombardi to Grimes with 7:20 to go in the first quarter. And Gillian Tavares with a 1-yard touchdown run with 2:53 to go in the first quarter. Made it 14-0 with Clark on the extra points. 32-yard interception by Jenkinson made it 21-0 with 25 seconds to go in the first quarter. Gillian Tavares again with a run from 1 yard out, just 3 seconds into the second quarter, and then an 8-yard pass from Lombardi to Grimes again with 7:38 to go in the second quarter, and that's where we stand. All 5 extra points converted by Clark, 35-0 Nantucket, 6:13 to go here in the first. Right now they'll call it 2nd and 18 for the Cardinals at the Nantucket 40. 3 receivers again out wide to the near side for Cardinal Spellman. Manning in the shotgun. Takes the snap, looking left, pressured once again, wrapped up, taken down again, that time by Russell Simpson. Double fours does it again with his 3rd sack of the afternoon. And now the ball all the way back in Cardinal Spellman territory, as that'll bring up 3rd down and forever for the Cardinals. And you can see, well, we can see up here Manning coming off the field, his hands in the air. 3rd and 29 for Spellman. Ball at the 49-yard line, and Manning has to come off the field once again with his helmet off. And might not be feeling too well. They will send in number 5, A.J. Dick, the freshman quarterback.
Freshman quarterback A.J. Dick enters the game.
And Manning keeled over on the bench right now for Cardinal Spellman. 3rd and 29. Dick getting thrown to the Wolves in the shotgun right now for Cardinal Spellman. Nantucket showing blitz. Dick, pass out to the near side, and it's overthrown, intended for Nabstedt, falls incomplete. And that'll force the Cardinals to punt once again. And the training staff for Cardinal Spellman, I believe, is working on Manning's left, looks like his lower left leg right now. Or no, they're working on his helmet. Again, he had an issue with that a few moments ago. Cardinal Spellman forced to punt now with 5:01 remaining before halftime. And the Whalers up 35-0. 2 timeouts left for both teams. And Aaron Hanlon, the senior, back deep for Nantucket to receive the punt. He's standing at his own 22. And they will send A.J. Dick out there. So it looks like Spellman's going to go for it on 4th and 29 from their own 49-yard line. Dick standing in the shotgun. And yes, Spellman's going to go for it from their own 49. It's 4th and 29. Nantucket bringing the blitz. Dick back to pass, rolls to his left, just fires up a prayer, and it is knocked down. And that's better for Nantucket. If they would have intercepted it, they would have had it at their own 28-yard line. Instead, it falls incomplete. So a turnover on downs. And Nantucket again will start with possession inside Cardinal Spellman territory at the 49-yard line. So kind of an odd play call right there. But Spellman just wants to get some kind of points on the board. So 1st and 10 for Nantucket at the 49. Whalers up 35-0, 4:54 remaining before halftime here in Brockton. Three receivers to the near side of the field as Lombardi rolls to his right, has a receiver wide open, picked up there by Phillips. Phillips turns the corner, gets rocked out of bounds, but not before he picks up a 1st down at the Cardinal Spellman 38-yard line. And another injured player, maybe cramping for Cardinal Spellman. That is Colin Woodward, a defensive lineman, number 55, down on the near sideline. As training staff is trying to stretch him out. 1st and 10 for Nantucket at the Spellman 38-yard line. Clock running, 4:27. There you see the profile for Burke Lombardi, the sophomore. 6 feet tall, 175 pounds. So on the basketball team as well. Father Travis in attendance today. Handoff this time goes to Rayshawn Ray. The senior turns the corner on the far side and gets taken down at the 31-yard line after he picks up about 7 yards. And Ray seeing his first touch of the afternoon as the Whalers just meticulously move the ball down the field.
tackle made by Daniel
Walks on the stop. And now another defensive player hobbling off the field for Cardinal Spellman. That's Andrew Kamama, number 4, the junior, taking off his helmet. Second and 2 for the Whalers at the Cardinal Spellman 31. Everybody in tight in this formation. Handoff and trying to plow his way through and getting the first down. Oh, the bull in the china shop pressing his way through to pick up the first down. That is David Gillian-Tavares. Already has a score today, and the junior moves the chains for Nantucket. Or does he? No, they're going to say he's short by about 2 or 3 inches. So a third down for the Whalers. They haven't seen that often here this afternoon. And they come to the line once again. Tight formation, 3:15 to go in the first half. Handoff, this time again. Gillian-Tavares, he will pick up the first down. Still moving. Penalty marker down. As he is pulled down at the 25-yard line. We'll have to check the penalty flag, though. As the clock stops here with 3:07 remaining in the first half. No official sign yet. And it looks like Nantucket is moving backwards. So a holding call against the Whalers. That'll push them back.
Offensive holding sets up 1st and 20.
So 1st and 20 for Nantucket as the ball is moved back to the Spellman 38-yard line. Three receivers down low. Lombardi in the shotgun. Looking right, fires it. It is caught by Gillian-Tavares, but a great open field tackle right there by Max Nabstead. So Nantucket maybe picks up a half a yard, but a great job by Nabstead of Cardinal Spellman for wrapping it up in the open field and preventing a big gain. Second, and they'll call it 20 for Nantucket on the Spellman 38-yard line. 2 timeouts left for both teams. Clock ticking. Here in the second quarter. Nantucket up 35-0. 2 receivers to either side. Lombardi takes the snap, throws it just over the line of scrimmage. Caught there by Silva, tries to break a tackle. Wrapping him up there, though, is Walks. And he's taken down. Still inbounds. The clock will still run. Pickup of about 4 on the play, but it brings up a third down and about 15. 3rd and 17, rather, for the Whalers. As the ball is at the Spellman 35-yard line. Lombardi gets the play. And will join the huddle. Big third down for Nantucket. They'd love to get more than 35 and start a running clock in the second half. Lombardi in the shotgun. Back to pass, looking right. Still looking, being flushed out of the pocket. Stops, throws up a prayer, look out, and it is knocked down as Lombardi hits the deck. And now some pushing and shoving afterwards. But it'll bring up 4th down for Nantucket into the wind. And 4th down and 17. See what the Whalers decide to do. The ball will be at the Cardinal Spellman 35-yard line. You see that prayer was not answered. And we have 1:21 to go on the second quarter clock. And again, the wind picking up, blowing from right to left, as it has been all afternoon, about 20, 25 miles per hour. Humid here in Brockton. Sun is out. Hazy skies, 80 degrees the temperature. And Nantucket will decide to punt for the first time this afternoon. End-over-end kick. And it is taken and fallen upon by Cardinal Spellman at their own 15.
Punt recovered on the Cardinals 15.
As the punter was Tristan Grimes. And so the Cardinals will start 1st and 10 on their own 15-yard line. 1:14 to go here in the second quarter. Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. And Spellman just looking for something to produce points. Manning still has his helmet off on the sideline, talking to the coaching staff. And I'm not sure if he's going to run into the huddle or if it's going to be the freshman quarterback, number 5, A.J. Dick. Oh, they're going to send Dick back out there. Manning has tried, but he's been roughed up all day long. Really hasn't had time to set himself or throw. Had some equipment issues with his helmet, so they'll throw Dick in there. Has a little bit more speed. And see what Cardinal Spellman can accomplish here with 1:14 to go before halftime. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals at their own 15. In the red jerseys moving right to left. Dick with the snap. Fires out to the left-hand side. It is caught there, but wrapped up, and the ball's loose. Picked up by Nantucket into the end zone. It's Jenkinson for the touchdown. Nantucket. 1:04 to go here in the second quarter, and the Whalers now up 41-0. It was a fumble recovery from about 10 yards out. Jenkinson just scooped it up and scored, and Nantucket just pummeling Cardinal Spellman this afternoon as the Whalers lead at 41-0 with 64 seconds to go before halftime. Offense, defense, special teams, Nantucket doing it all here this afternoon. Coach Reese has to be very pleased with the performance of his players so far in less than one half of the opening game of the season. Clark on to attempt the extra point. Snap plays down, kick is up. It is good, and Clark is 6 for 6 on extra points this afternoon. We'll take a quick timeout here from Brockton. 64 seconds to go in the second quarter. Nantucket 42, Cardinal Spellman nothing. Back after this on the NSC and NCTV.
Push them back, boys, farther, farther. Hit them low and harder, harder. On Nantucket, on Nantucket. Fight, 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 fight. Can't you see that we are for you, navy blue and white?
Another touchdown for Nantucket. Whalers up 42-0, 64 seconds to go before halftime. It'll be Dennis Landavardi Aguilar, the sophomore, to kick off this time. End over and kick, and it bounces at the 16, taken by one of the up men. That's Buka. Buka gets to the 30, slips, falls forward, and is wrestled down at the 34-yard line. And now Nantucket will be whistled as Soares flew in there late. And that'll be an unnecessary roughness penalty against the Whalers. And if there were any complaints for Nantucket, that's going to be it. Otherwise, Coach Reese has to be satisfied with both offense and defense, a 42-0 lead. But you don't want to see things get out of control here with 57 seconds to go before halftime and your team with a big lead. In fact, wouldn't be surprised if some of the reserves, the junior varsity players, come onto the field with this big lead for Nantucket. They're up 42-0 with 57 seconds left. And an unsportsmanlike penalty against the Whalers, so personal foul penalty. That'll put the ball at the 48-yard line for Cardinal Spellman.
Unnecessary roughness. Move the Cardinals up to the 48. 1st and 10.
So that's where Cardinal Spellman will start. Ball on the left hash. 1st and 10 from their own 48. 57 seconds to go. Cardinals trailing at 42-0. 2 timeouts left for both teams. And Dick is still in there as quarterback for Cardinal Spellman. Manning still on the sideline with his helmet off, the starting quarterback for Cardinal Spellman. Dick takes the snap. Handoff this time goes to Nwoku. Has some room. Gets across midfield and is taken down at the Nantucket 40-yard line. That's enough for a first down. That'll move the chains and stop the clock temporarily with 52 seconds to go. Again, both teams with 2 timeouts left here in the first half. And now the clock continues to run with 40 seconds remaining. And no sense of urgency right here from Cardinal Spellman whatsoever. Dick in the shotgun. Standing next to him is Nwoku. Dick takes the snap, fakes the handoff, broken play, and he's wrestled down and thrown down by Canton Jenkinson. Dick gets sacked behind the line of scrimmage. Handoff went to no one, and Dick went, uh-oh, and tried to run away. And now a timeout called by Cardinal Spellman. They've got one remaining, Nantucket with 2. 42-0 Whalers. Clock stops with 16 seconds remaining in the second half. A reminder, we've got more high school football for you next Saturday. It's the home opener for Nantucket. They will host Carver at 1 o'clock at Vito Capizzo Stadium. And we'll have live coverage of that game here on the NSC and NCTV. Also on Xfinity Comcast Channel 1072. We ask for your support with our Snap Raise funding donations. We'll put the QR code up throughout this game, or you can just make a donation at the NCTV offices on Dave Street, across from the Chicken Box and across from the Big Stop and Shop. And you can find out more information online as well. Just Google Nantucket Sports Connection or Nantucket Community Television. And if you'd like to sponsor any of the Whalers Athletics broadcasts, I'd be more than happy to talk to you about that as well. Wind now really picking up, and it's blowing basically from the bottom of your screen across the field towards the Nantucket sideline at the top. Again, it's sticky and humid here in Brockton today. Temperature around 80 degrees. Few clouds, but the sun has been shining. It's hazy. Expecting some rain showers later on today after we're done here. 16 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Cardinals with the ball. They trail Nantucket 42-0 as the ball is at the Nantucket 41-yard line. And Dick in the shotgun once again. Takes the snap, looking left. Fires it, and it hits the ground. Diving attempt by Napstead, but it's incomplete. And so that'll stop the clock with 11 seconds remaining. And this will now be 3rd and 11. Again, once we start the second half, the score remains. It will be a running clock in Nantucket's favor. But impressive so far through the first 23 minutes and 49 seconds for Nantucket. They were up 21-0 at the end of the first quarter, up 42-0 now with 11 seconds to go before halftime. And another timeout called.
Timeout.
And I believe that was called by Spellman, so that leaves Spellman with no timeouts remaining and Nantucket with 2 timeouts remaining. And the ball will be at the 41-yard line with Spellman with no timeouts left. Nantucket with 2 and 11 seconds on the clock. And if you're Spellman, maybe you think about throwing up a Hail Mary right now. Wind is kind of at their backs here. Had a rough day, though. Manning has been knocked out of the game. Their starting quarterback had some helmet issues, some cramping by some of their offensive linemen. And Whalers have taken advantage. An interception for a TD, a scoop and score for a fumble recovery for a TD. And a great job also by Jack Clark, their place kicker, who is 6 for 6 on extra points. Dick in the shotgun. 3rd and 11 for Cardinal Spellman after the timeout from the Nantucket 41. Dick back, looking left, has some time, being chased and being wrestled down again and dragged down. Great pursuit there, that time by Patrick Valero, the senior. His father, Scott, has to be proud watching back on Nantucket today. And that will take us to halftime as the Whalers go in with the lead to the locker room at halftime, 42-0, as some of the players chasing down the Whalers' tent, which is blown away here in Brockton, and Nantucket blowing away Cardinal Spellman through the first 24 minutes of the opening game of the 2025 season. We will take an extended timeout, be back to Brockton after this. Nantucket 42, Cardinal Spellman nothing at the half. We'll be back after these words on the NSC and NCTV.
The Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank its founding sponsor, the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, whose mission is to promote the positive development and enrichment of Nantucket's children. For more information on the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, go to nantucketgolfclub.com.
Underwriting support for this Whalers football broadcast on the NSE provided in part by Nantucket Bank and Rockland Trust, providing financial education and resources to local communities for over a century. Rockland Trust Bank, where each relationship matters.
Underwriting support for the NSC is brought to you in part by Myrick, the largest full-service law firm in Central Mass, also serving the Cape and Islands. Visit MyrickLaw.com to learn how Myrick can assist you with your legal needs.
Support for the NSE provided in part by Highline Cruises, providing year-round high-speed service to Nantucket since 1996. For more info, visit HighlineCruises.com.
NCTV and the Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank our Nantucket business sponsors for their support of today's Whalers broadcast.
Nantucket Community Television. My name is Jackie Vignon, and I am going to be hosting the 28th annual Boston Pops concert here on Nantucket Island. Come join me at Jetty's Beach, and we are going to interview some of the locals and see what they think about the Pops. Where are we today, Tom?
We're at the Pops.
Boston
Pops, the 28th annual Boston Pops down at Jetty's Beach. It's awesome.
Yes, it
perfect
is.
Weather, perfect day. Going to be a perfect night. Drones, fireworks show, the whole deal.
Now, are you excited for the Bruce Springsteen cover band?
Yes, love Bruce Springsteen. One of my first concerts I ever went to was Bruce Springsteen back in D.C., Washington, D.C.
How many years have you been coming to see the Boston Pops?
This is my first time in like 7 years, actually. Yeah, I think I've been once when I was like 12.
So how excited are you for the Bruce Springsteen cover band tonight?
I'm so excited, especially because the Bruce Springsteen biopic is coming out this year. So it's like serendipity. I got my flag in my pocket. Woo, look at that. So excited. Born to run.
How many years have you guys been attending the Boston Pops?
Our son is 31.
30 years.
I'm going to say 30.
30
years. Okay,
Yeah.
well, it is the 28th year, so
28
years, yeah,
Okay, well, what do
almost.
I know? It feels like 30.
I'm gonna say 28 years.
28 years. This is our first one. I'm so really excited. All right.
Yeah, this is our first.
It's your very first one. Okay. And how excited are you guys for the Bruce Springsteen cover band tonight?
I would say very, very excited.
So excited. It's gonna be awesome.
So this is our fourth time coming, but we've missed a few years. So yeah.
Started in 2014, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
And how excited are you guys tonight for the Bruce Springsteen cover band?
Love it. We cannot wait.
Woo!
Other than last year and the year it rained, I don't remember not being here for my entire life.
So you've been to almost every Boston Pops concert is what you're telling me?
Yes, of my 23 years, I would say at least 20 of them I've been to.
Is that voluntary or against your will?
At first against my will, for sure. There were a couple of years where I was way too tired and not wanting to be here and it was crowded, but now is my favorite night of the summer, without a doubt.
So is this your first ever Boston Pops concert?
Yeah, it was our first ever.
Okay.
We didn't know it was going to be on, and it was a coincidence, and so we got tickets today.
Wonderful. Well, you guys lucked out because this is a fabulous scene.
It is.
Everyone here comes together. Right now, I am with
Sangeeta Tambora.
All right, Sangeeta. And what are you doing here today at the Boston Pops?
We are helping with security for the VIP tent.
All right. Awesome. And now, where did you guys come from? How was your journey?
We are off island. We come in to do security. We've been working security here for I don't know, like 10 years. I brought a staff of 14, 15 folks that do the VIP tent. And we have other staff that is doing the entrances, the beach. So we're covering all your security needs.
Well, thank you so much for keeping us so safe. I appreciate your service.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm being joined by
Michael Gormley
of
Nantucket.
And what is it that you are doing here today at the Boston Pops concert?
Riding tricycles.
And what is it, the service that you provide?
We are providing complimentary transportation provided by Nantucket Cottage Hospital to and fro the end of the road for folks with mobility impairments and anyone else as well.
Wonderful. That is such a great service that you are offering for people. Now, how many years have you personally attended the Boston Pops concert?
The first time I attended was 3 years ago, as this was the first contract for the Tuk Tuk. So the Pops is near and dear to my heart, and it's always a blast to see the happy folks heading in and out of the event.
Joined by
Roberta White.
Now, Roberta, how many Boston Pops concerts would you say at ballpark have you been to?
Well, having just found out there are 28 of them, I'd say probably, I don't know, maybe 23.
Wow. Okay.
The first few here on the beach, and it was not as crowded as this, and then it slowly got bigger and bigger, and then we've been going by our boat most years.
Awesome.
But tonight we decided to try the sand.
So what brings you to the Pops today?
I love good music. I love, the symphony. I saw the Pops actually a couple months ago. They did Star Wars. So the John Williams medleys. So, exactly. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. So that was incredible, and I saw the opportunity. I couldn't say no, especially with this beautiful sunset. You can't beat a night like this on the island. Yeah.
Back here in Brockton, Massachusetts, Potvin Field on the campus of Cardinal Spellman High School. It is all Nantucket Whalers here at halftime. 42-0, the Whalers rolling over the Cardinals right now. It's been an impressive performance both offensively and defensively. We will recap the scoring for Nantucket. It started off with 7:20 to go in the first quarter, a 17-yard touchdown pass from Burke Lombardi, the sophomore, to Tristan Grimes, the senior, and Clark with the extra point. That made it 7-0. 2:43 to go. Julian Tavares with a 1-yard touchdown run made it 14-0 with the extra point from Clark. Then an interception from 32 yards out. That was by Jeremy Jenkinson, the senior. Clark with the extra point made it 21-0. That's how we finished the first quarter, and then Nantucket added 21 more extra points in the second quarter. A 1-yard touchdown run by Jenkinson with 11:57 to go. And then an 8-yard pass. Again, Lombardi hooks up with Grimes at 7:38 to go in the second. That made it 35-0 with the Clark extra point. And then Nantucket capped it off with an 8-yard scoop and score, a fumble recovery for a touchdown, that time by Canton Jenkinson, the senior. And the Whalers blowing out Cardinal Spellman right now by a score of 42-0. I'm DC Collins in for Chris Morris, the voice of Nantucket Whalers Athletics. He will be back for the home opener at Vito Capizzo Stadium as the Whalers will host Carver. Our coverage begins around 1 o'clock. That'll be next Saturday, live here on the NSC and NCTV, and also live on Xfinity Comcast Channel 1072 if you are on Nantucket. I want to say thanks to Frank, Adriana, and Charles Douglas, spinning the dials, keeping us on the air for our remote broadcast here this afternoon at Cardinal Spellman High School. Hey, if you like the coverage that we provide here on the NSC and NCTV, here's your chance to donate, whether out of your own personal account or if you'd like to become an advertiser. We've got more information coming up for you in just a moment, and then we'll be back with the third quarter kickoff from Brockton. Whalers lead it 42-0 over Cardinal Spellman. Back with second half action right after this on the NSC and NCTV.
First hoop, Simpson gathers for Nantucket. Francis Over to Aguilar. He'll look for three. Got it! Huge shot from Cardinals.
In 1965, a group of dedicated Nantucket parents came together with one goal: to raise enough money to develop game film for the football team. The following season, the Whalers went undefeated. These parents became the very first class of the Nantucket Booster Club. Over time, Whaler pride has grown into something far more than just wins and losses on the scoreboard.
Once a Whaler, always a Whaler. 1, 2, 3, Whalers!
Una vez un Whaler, siempre un Whaler. Vamos!
What binds us is Whaler pride. It has shaped our island and student athletes for generations.
Whaler pride isn't just a tradition, it's an identity, a legacy for families who choose to plant their roots here in this community all year round. It can bring generations of island families together, and for Wash Ashore children, it can transform an unfamiliar place into a new home. The Nantucket Booster Club is a vital link between our community and Whalers athletics. It helps provide our teams with gear, additional travel expenses, and much more.
Volunteering for the Booster Club, it's a blast. From the homecoming to the pig roast, and most importantly, Hank, our school mascot. We're here to create a fun and welcoming atmosphere. More than money, we need members. And part of this club, you are a member, not just a volunteer. We need to build our community bigger and better to help our student athletes prepare for the next chapter in their life.
Support our kids and Whaler pride by volunteering for the Booster Club. To learn more, please email the address on the screen.
Good morning. It is the 4th of July. We are here in town. It is 9 a.m. And my name is Anna Popnikolova. I will be your host today. Let's go talk to some people. What do you love about the 4th of July on Nantucket?
It's just the best, right? I mean, it's awesome sun. Everybody's out. Everybody's happy. No road rage yet, right? It's all good. It's celebrating the best of Nantucket.
Watching fish with my friends and going to a party and playing music on the beach.
The water fight, we're so excited. We're lining up in a few minutes. We're going to be in the front row, and we're going to get soaked. We do it every year. We love it.
I have bad news. What do you like to do on the 4th of July?
Eat ice cream for lunch. Go to the beach and watch the fireworks. It's kind of like a tradition, like we go to Jack and Charlie's every year for the 4th of July to eat ice cream for lunch.
What is your favorite 4th of July memory?
We just left the reading of the Declaration of Independence, and that's one of my favorite things. It's very timely.
And of course the water fight. You know, all the years that we've been able to do the water fight.
Yeah, there's no water this year.
What?
We're in a drought.
We're in a drought. Please, don't run your water. Do not get in a water fight. Just light things on fire this year.
Okay, I'm not the best example for your kids. I have good morals to teach them, but as far as what I do for fun, every 4th of July, me and my buddies get a bunch of fireworks and we shoot them at each other.
Favorite 4th of July memory is fireworks. When, back when I was younger, we used to do it on the beach in Jetties, and you would go there instead of a blanket and lay down and look straight up at them.
What do you like about the 4th of July?
I like all the stuff happening and all the stands.
Do you like fireworks?
Yeah, I'm seeing them tonight.
Do you have any family traditions?
Right here. This is the hub of Nantucket, the excitement, the vibe. That's why we got these hats, because we want to be part of the festivities. But I've been coming for 38 years.
I like to walk downtown and go to Jetties Beach.
What is kind of great about the 4th of July on Nantucket?
I mean, Nantucket in general, right? It's a small town community feel, and I think like the 4th of July is every community celebrates it differently. I think the fact that there are things that are very family friendly, the fireworks are awesome. Main Street has the Touch a Truck today, and there's so many things going on. I like that there's something for everybody.
Can I ask you a little bit of 4th of July trivia? Do you know the name of the battle that we won to win the American Revolution?
Wasn't it the one in Boston with the redcoats?
Battle of Bunker Hill?
Bunker Hill?
Gettysburg?
Not sure.
Iwo Jima, we won.
They put a name to all these wars, but really they were just fighting like
Where's Nathaniel Philbrook when you need him? He's usually within half a block.
a civil war. I don't know, like it's a civil war of.
Welcome back to Potvin Field here in Brockton, Massachusetts, home of the Cardinal Spellman Cardinals. It's the Whalers with a 42-0 lead over Cardinal Spellman. As 12 minutes are up on the board, we're ready to start the second half. It'll be a running clock. 82 degrees. We've got mostly sunny skies. It's humid and sticky. Some of the Cardinal Spellman players have been suffering from cramps throughout the first half. There is a breeze, though, blowing from right to left at about 20 miles per hour, so Spellman will be kicking into the wind. We will have a running clock. Hey, I want to say thanks to everybody here at Cardinal Spellman High School, too, for setting us up here on the perch on top of the press box and being accommodating to Charles Douglas down below in the press box, and also the fine folks at WATD Radio 95.9. They are a local radio station covering the South Shore, and plenty of football games this fall if you tune into them, featuring teams like Abington and Rockland and, of course, Cardinal Spellman today. So thanks for all the cooperation and the help from those guys, as well as the faculty and staff here at Cardinal Spellman. Ready to go. Third quarter underway as the kick will head off to the right. It's picked up there by Nantucket at the 27-yard line, making his way across the 40, getting hammered there is Tristan Grimes. But that's where Nantucket will start. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Again, clock will continue to run because of the lead for Nantucket, 42-0. And we'll only stop for certain plays and call timeouts and injuries. There is a penalty marker, it looks like, on the far side of the field. And the officials are conferring right now. And let's see if they're going to pick it up. The ball right now is at the 42-yard line. Personal foul against Cardinal Spellman. So that might have been a late hit as Grimes was going down. So if that's the case, again, Nantucket, for the 5th time, will start with possession inside the Cardinal Spellman territory. Lombardi still under center, number 7 in white for Nantucket as the Whalers move right to left here in the third quarter across your screen. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm DC Collins, and for Chris Morris, he'll be back for the home opener next Saturday at 1 o'clock as the Whalers will host Carver. Frank Shadd up top with me, Adriana Graham. Fumble, and Charles Douglas spinning the dials underneath us in the press box. Lombardi falls on it for a loss of about 3 yards. And so it'll be 2nd and 13 now for Nantucket. And at the conclusion of today's game, we hope to talk to Coach Reese, who I'm sure will be in a joyful mood, and hopefully grab one of the players as well for Nantucket, as they are rolling here in Brockton. 10-10 to go in the third quarter, 42-0 Whalers on top. Handoff this time. And wide, lots of room is Gillian Tavares. He's at the 30, the 20, steps out of bounds. Otherwise, he would have still kept going. And they mark him out at the 25-yard line. But Tavares with a full head of steam and breaking tackles. And picks up a first down for Nantucket. Tavares, the junior, plays running back and linebacker for Nantucket. Had lots of room to work with right there. 5'10", 210 pounds with those shoulder pads, man. He looks like a gladiator. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Nantucket. Ball on the right hash mark at the Cardinal Spellman 25-yard line. Wind at the back of the Whalers, moving right to left. Lombardi in the shotgun once again. Pitch out. This time Tavares breaks the tackle, still dragging tacklers with him. Over the 15-yard line, pulled down at the 13 as a penalty marker flies in from the near sideline. And we'll have to check and see what this is all about. Tavares with consecutive carries right now. And let's see what the officials say. Again, clock still running because Nantucket is leading 42-0. We've got 8:45 to go here in the third. They spot the ball at the 20-yard line.
Offensive penalty for aiding the runner. Sets up first.
And they call an offensive penalty against Nantucket for aiding the runner. Well, Gillian Tavares, if you've seen him run today, doesn't need that much help as he was pulling red jerseys and Cardinal Spellman players with him. But that'll back Nantucket up to the Spellman 20-yard line.
1st and 5.
First down and 5 for Nantucket. Lombardi in the shotgun once again with Gillian Tavares right behind him. Handoff. Gillian Tavares, big hole on the right-hand side, carrying tacklers again over the 15 and dragged down at the 13-yard line. You can see Keegan Bedell, number 55, coming over, patting him on the helmet right there. And that'll move the chains for the Whalers, now at the Cardinal Spellman 14-yard line. Here with 7:45 to go in the third. Three timeouts left for both teams as we've got 7:30 to go here in the third. Lombardi in the shotgun once again. Handoff. Gillian Tavares has a hole at the 10, at the 5, and somersaults over the defender, Wrightington. And they'll mark him down right at about the 3-yard line.
Sets up first and goal for the Whalers.
First and goal for the Whalers at the 3. 7 minutes remaining in the third. 42-0 Nantucket. And Lombardi comes in from off the sideline to call the play. Ball on the left hash mark. Out wide to the far side of the field is Silva. Gillian Tavares again behind Lombardi, who's in the shotgun. Give to him. Through the hole. Plowing his way through and wrestled down at about the 1.5-yard line. And that'll bring up second down and goal for Nantucket.
Second and goal from the 2.
Ground and pound for Nantucket. We mentioned they are going to run the wing T offense primarily here. They've gone to the air a few times, but have dominated on both sides of the ball. Second and goal from the 2 for the Whalers. 6 minutes to play in the third. Nantucket up 42-0. They will host Carver in the home opener. Next Saturday, we'll have that game for you starting at approximately 1 o'clock here on the NSC and NC TV. As again, Gillian Tavares, the junior, is behind Lombardi, who's in the shotgun. Second and goal. Throws it out, and it is almost intercepted. Almost picked off there by Azevedo. Pass intended on the left-hand side to Silva.
It's a third and goal from the 2.
Knocked down, though, and it's third and goal for Nantucket at the 2. Maybe Lombardi runs it in. He has a few touchdown passes this afternoon, but maybe wants one for himself on the ground. Gillian Tavares still in the huddle as well. Lines up behind Lombardi. Third and goal from the 2. They get up to the line quickly to Gillian Tavares. Pushes his way through into the end zone. Touchdown, Nantucket! And the Whalers now jump out to a 48-0 lead with 4:55 to play here in the third quarter. Overpowered, overmatched, and Tavares scores another touchdown. 4:55 to go in the third. And the Whalers on a roll here this afternoon up in Brockton. The 5'10 junior, 210 pounds. And now on to attempt the extra point. As Lataverde Aguilar. The kick is up, and it is good. Nantucket place kicker 7 for 7 on extra points this afternoon. And the Whalers blowing out Cardinal Spellman here in Brockton as the clock continues to run. Running time here in the MIAA. 4:04 to go in the third. Nantucket 49 and Cardinal Spellman nothing as the Whalers are ready to kick off. Again, it'll be Dennis Lataverde Aguilar, the sophomore, to do the honors. Cardinal Spellman with no answers today whatsoever. Back deep to receive the kickoff. Liam Wrightington, number 1 in red for Cardinal Spellman, and also Daniel Walks. Kickoff from the 40-yard line. And Nantucket boots it away. End-over-end kick. Taken this time by Wrightington at the 15, out to the 20, to the far sides of the 25, 30, turns the corner but steps out of bounds at the 32-yard line, and that's where Cardinal Spellman will start. First and 10 from their own 32. 3:15 to go here in the third. So Nantucket with all the answers today. Again, they scored on their first possession. 17-yard TD pass Lombardi to Grimes, and Whalers have not looked back at all. And they will mark the ball. Wrightington got out to the 32, but the officials are going to mark the ball 2 yards back and put it at the 30, just so it's easier for the chain gang. So Cardinal Spellman not getting any breaks this afternoon, and they'll start 2 yards shorter than they should have. A.J. Dick, the freshman quarterback who came in relief of Ronan Manning, who was knocked out of the game in the second quarter. He's in the shotgun right now. Hand off, and Nantucket's waiting for it. Nwoku nowhere to go, gets hauled down behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of about 2. In fact, Manning has his shoulder pads off. Number 2, the starting quarterback who got knocked out in the second quarter. He's talking to the coaching staff there. He will not return this afternoon for Cardinal Spellman. He is the senior quarterback who just got knocked around today. Has his helmet off and his shoulder pads off. So 2nd and 11 now for Cardinal Spellman at their own 29. In the red jerseys, moving left to right into the wind. 3 receivers down low. Dick in the shotgun. Handoff this time, trying the right-hand side is Nwoku. Breaks the tackle, turns the corner. Penalty marker down as he pushes his way across the 30. But let's check the flag as the clock's still running with 90 seconds to go here in the third quarter. The officials will conference. And a personal foul, face mask against Nantucket. So that will give Cardinal Spellman an automatic first down. And they'll gain some ground as well with a minute to go in the third. And the Cardinals now move out to their own 46-yard line after the face mask penalty against Nantucket. Three receivers now to the top, to the wide side of the field. Dick in the shotgun with Nwoku standing next to him. Dick, a freshman quarterback. And whistle on a false start, and this one will go against Isom, the freshman wide receiver on the near side of the field. So 15 yards on the penalty, the face mask penalty a moment ago for Cardinal Spellman, and now they get pushed back 5 yards. And that should lead us to the end of the third quarter here in Brockton at Cardinal Spellman High School. Nantucket 49, Cardinal Spellman nothing. Running clock for the final 12 minutes of the fourth quarter as we will return right after these words here on the NSC and NCTV. 49-0 Nantucket over Cardinal Spellman. Start of the fourth after this.
Let's go, Vicky! Come on, Nantucket!
The Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank its founding sponsor, the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, whose mission is to promote the positive development and enrichment of Nantucket's children. For more information on the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, go to nantucketgolfclub.com.
Underwriting support for this Whalers football broadcast on the NSC provided in part by Nantucket Bank and Rockland Trust, providing financial education and resources to local communities for over a century. Rockland Trust Bank, where each relationship matters.
Underwriting support for the NSC is brought to you in part by Myrick, the largest full-service law firm in Central Mass, also serving the Cape and Islands. Visit MyrickLaw.com to learn how Myrick can assist you with your legal needs.
Support for the NSC provided in part by Highline Cruises, providing year-round high-speed service to Nantucket since 1996. For more info, visit HighlineCruises.com.
NCTV and the Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank our Nantucket business sponsors for their support of today's Whalers broadcast.
Start of the fourth quarter, 12 minutes up on the board. Cardinal Spellman with the pass out to the near side. That's Walks picking up about 3 yards. 49-0 Nantucket. Clock running, 11:45 to go in the fourth. Cardinal Spellman with the football in red, moving right to left. Second down and 10 for the Cardinals. Hey, I want to say thanks to the Nantucket Community Foundation for all their hard work in sponsoring our broadcast here on the NSC on NCTV. And hey, don't forget, our very first soccer broadcast will take place this Wednesday, September 10th, 3:30 p.m. Special live event, Whalers Soccer. Coach Doug Lebrecht's squad welcomes the Warriors from Nauset out on the Lower Cape. And it's our first soccer broadcast Wednesday, 3:30 p.m. here on the NSC on NCTV and Comcast Xfinity Channel 1072 as we expand our coverage, trying to get all the sports in for Nantucket, both boys and girls. As that pass is incomplete, and it brings up 3rd and 10 for Cardinal Spellman. Next football broadcast, Saturday, 1 o'clock at home at Vito Capizzo Stadium. Chris Morris will have the call for you here on the NSC and NCTV. Welcome back. As we get our fourth quarter underway, we want to give a special acknowledgement to the Getter Home Services for lending their support to the Nantucket Sports Connection. Getter Home Services specializes in caretaking repairs. And though it's a new business, it comes with a familiar face. That's Michael Getter, formerly proprietor of Dune Restaurant and the chef at 21 Federal, as well as American Seasons before that. Congratulations to Michael Getter on his new endeavor. And you can find out more information online, GetterHomeservices.com. That's GETTR, Homeservices, all one word.com. GetterHomeservices.com. Thank you to Michael. And also thank you to Lisa for helping us out and letting us broadcast on the road here in Brockton today. Dick back to pass, fumbles it momentarily, has some room to run, gets across the 50 into Whalers territory, and is knocked out of bounds at the 45-yard line, but not before he hits the chains and picks up the first down. Only the 4th of the day for Cardinal Spellman as they move into Nantucket territory. Clock running, 9:45 to go here in the fourth quarter. Whalers with a very comfortable 49-0 lead.
That sets up a Cardinals first down.
Carver at Nantucket next Saturday for football. 1 o'clock, Chris Morris with the call on the NSC on NCTV. And again, a reminder, if you'd like to advertise any of our sports broadcasts, you can stop by the NCTV office during regular business hours. They are right across from the Chicken Box and across from the big Stop and Shop in Mid-Island. And also we'll put that QR code up if you'd like to just donate before the end of this broadcast today to keep our productions going here on the NSC on NCTV. Little confusion for the wide receivers. Trips out to the near side of the field. Dick in the shotgun, takes the snap, rolls to his left, being pressured, throws, fires. It is tipped and then caught. Goes off the fingertips of Nadstep, but right into the hands of Azevedo. So a completion. Good for about 8 yards, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 2 for Cardinal Spellman. With 8:35 remaining here in the fourth quarter, and Nantucket on top 49-0.
8-yard pickup sets up a 2nd and 2.
So 2nd and 2 for Cardinal Spellman at the Nantucket 36-yard line. Again, at the conclusion of this game, we'll make our way down on the field and talk to Coach Reese. And hopefully we'll be able to talk to one of the Nantucket players in a dominating performance today to open up the 2025 season. I'm DC Collins. Thanks for joining us here on the NSC and NCTV and Comcast Xfinity Channel 1072, along with Frank and Adriana up here on top of the press box, and Charles Douglas spinning the dials back down below for us today. Dick in the shotgun once again. Nwoku, the running back, to his left. Fumble. Dick picks it up, but gets wrestled down at the 40, and that'll be a loss of about 3, so it'll bring up 3rd down and about 5. Halfway through the second quarter, the starting quarterback, number 2, Ronan Manning for Cardinal Spellman, got knocked out of the game, had some equipment problems with his helmet, was cramping up, and came out at halftime without his shoulder pads on. A couple of the linemen, too, from Cardinal Spellman, cramping up. It has just not been a very good day for the players in red for Cardinal Spellman. Third down and 5 for Cardinal Spellman at the Nantucket 39-yard line. Whalers up 49-0, 7:05 to play. Dick gets the snap, rolls to his right. Plenty of time to throw. Connects, and this time it's Nabstead making his way across the 30 and wrestled down at the 28-yard line. That's good for a first down, though, as they move the chains here with 6:48 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Both teams with all 3 timeouts remaining. A.J. Dick, just a freshman.
First and 10 from the 28.
Stands at only 5'7". Has some speed, though. And lines up in the shotgun to his right is Makai Nwoku. Nwoku, a sophomore running back. Handoff to him right there. Great pressure as Patrick Valero tags him down to the ground. Pickup of maybe a yard. And that will bring up second down and 9 for Cardinal Spellman.
See the Spellman cross-country team.
Ball at the 28-yard line.
Successful season opener.
Again, we've got more sports for you coming up this Wednesday, September 10th, approximately 3:30 from the soccer fields. It'll be Nantucket boys soccer taking on the Nauset Warriors. We'll have that coverage beginning around 3:30 this upcoming Wednesday, September 10th, our first soccer broadcast here on the NSC and NCTV. And we are counting on your support through the Snap Raise campaign that we just launched. It'll be running through the end of September. Every dollar makes a difference. If you want more sports, including girls soccer, you can just scan the QR code that we will put up later on in this broadcast. Or find us on Instagram at ACK Sports Connection. That's at Sports Connection. Hit the link on our profile there to make a donation and to make it happen. Dick back to pass over the middle, has a receiver, and it's dropped. Oh, wide open was Nabstead. And he had a clear path to the end zone for the first points for Cardinal Spellman, but it falls incomplete. And Nabstead with his hands on his helmet can't believe it. Got past the defense, just went off his fingertips, though, and that's how it's been for Cardinal Spellman this afternoon on their home field here in Brockton. Nothing going their way. And it'll bring up a third down and 9 from the Nantucket 28. Whalers up 49-0. Clock ticking, running clock here in the MIAA with 4:34 remaining. Cardinal Spellman taking some extended time in the huddle as Dick comes in with the play from across the sideline. Dick giving some instructions to Walks, one of his receivers. 3 receivers down low to the near side of the field. Nwoku standing right next to Dick, who's in the shotgun. The quarterback takes the snap, looking left, rolling left, being pressured, and gets wrapped up and hauled down. Great pursuit right there by Jasper Soares, the junior, as his helmet flies off. But it's a sack, and it'll force fourth down for Cardinal Spellman with 3:36 to play. And Soares has to come off the field because his helmet fell off. And Jeremy Jenkinson, I'm sorry, that is David Gillian Tavares, steps back in. He's had a heck of a day, too. And this will bring up fourth down and call it 18. Ball resting on the Nantucket 35-yard line. Remember, Spellman
35, 4th and 16.
Went for it on 4th and 21 back in the third quarter. And I believe they've called timeout, but because it's a running clock, the clock's still ticking away. 2:57, 2:56 to go. Nantucket with a 49-0 lead. And here it is. Dick back to pass on fourth down. Throws it up, and it is caught, hauled in. Great catch by Nabstead to convert the fourth down. Inside the 10 of Nantucket. Went sky high in between 2 defenders. They'll put the ball right on the 10, so first down and goal for the Cardinals as they try to put some points on the board with 2:10 remaining. First and goal at the Nantucket 10. 2 minutes to go in regulation. Vic takes the snap, Dick rather. And a handoff. This time it goes to Nwoku. And he gains about 3 or 4 yards. Second and goal from about the 6. So we hope to talk to Coach Reese at the end of the game and also grab a Nantucket player to talk to after this impressive victory to start the 2025 season. Don't count the chickens before they hatch. We still have a minute 20 to go, but Nantucket rolling along here with a 49-0 lead. It's just a matter, can they contain the shutout? Second and goal for Cardinal Spellman from the Nantucket 6. Whalers up 49-0, 65 seconds to play. Dick in the shotgun. Takes the snap, rolls to his right. Looking, will carry it himself. Can he turn the corner at the 5? Great pursuit by Nantucket, and they gang tackle him before he can get across the 5. And boy, Dick got leveled right there by about 4 Nantucket players. That'll bring up third down with 40 seconds to go in the game. And see if the Cardinals show any sense of urgency and try to score. Dick has his shoulder pads all mangled. It's just, that's the way it's gone for the Cardinals this afternoon. Everybody getting beat up. And the Whalers, you can see the cheerleaders celebrating. It'll be a happy boat ride back across to the island. 20 seconds to go, and let's see if Cardinal Spellman decides to run another play. It's third down and goal from the Nantucket 7. But just 15 seconds to go in regulation, and that might just about do it. And it will. No play will be run. Final score today, Nantucket 49, Cardinal Spellman nothing. The Whalers come away with a victory. Oh, they're going to stop the clock now with 4 seconds. Now the coaching staff just says run it out. Horn sounds here in Brockton. Whalers win it 49-0 over Cardinal Spellman. We will take an extended timeout, be back to talk with Coach Reese and hopefully a Nantucket player right after these words. Nantucket wins at 49-0 over Cardinal Spellman. We're back after this on the NSC on NCTV.
He's got it! He's got it!
Nantucket Sports Connection and NCTV over the past few years have done countless broadcasts that are both exciting and professional.
Shot, score! Jack Halleck!
I support NCTV's Nantucket Sports Connection because it's a great opportunity to reach island families, support students, and our local television station.
Whenever NCTV covers one of our games, I think it's awesome.
We have been able to capture so much incredible athletic history. It feels like we've been a part of it as much as the kids have been.
A lot of people have prior obligations. Maybe they can't make the event, and they still get to watch it and, watch a great broadcast, see their kid playing.
It's nice for the parents, grandparents, and family that can't come or are not on the island to be able to see it, even if they can't attend in person. So I think that meant a lot to them.
The technology that we need is, it's not cheap. There are certain costs that go into this to make this happen. My hope for the broadcast is to just build the crew numbers, get more students involved, maybe add a few more cameras here and there, but, ultimately, we're here to grow. The more hands on deck, the better this can be, and ultimately that just comes back to the Nantucket community.
We're excited to take on soccer because it's coming. We're there. We're ready for it.
Nantucket Ice is about community. Camaraderie. Confidence. Jumping in and being part of a team. Falling, but getting back up. It's about being part of the culture, friendships, experience. But ultimately, it's about being on the ice. Located in the heart of the island, it's about being a future for our youth, our families, our community. Come join us. Be a part of our community.
Girls are strong. Girls can throw. Girls can play football if they have a determined mindset. Girls don't have to just look pretty. They can pack a punch, believe me. My name is Ashley Klatt. I'm on the Nantucket Whalers football team, and here's my story. Girlhood to me was very different than a lot of people's girlhood. I grew up watching the Dallas Cowboys every Sunday with my dad, my sister, and my entire family, and I just loved watching the game, all aspects of it, and I just wanted to get that hands-on experience. Since I was little, I've been bullied a lot. I'm still bullied. I was bullied for my weight, my attitude. It just didn't make me feel great, and it made me very upset at points, but I have a sense of determination that I just walk through it. Being tackled is crazy as it is, but Coach Machado has taught me that when you're hit physically and mentally, that you have to just get up and keep pursuing and keep fighting until that last whistle. You just have to get used to it, push through, and be that person you know is deep down inside. I empower myself by showing people that she's not just here to wear a jersey and look pretty. She's here to get dirty, get rough, get tough, get to some place where things are possible and things can happen. People will give you weird looks and think, oh, this person, they're different because they're a girl playing a male-dominated sport, but you need to always have that confidence and determination. You will always look back on, I did that. I achieved greatness. I hope I've inspired a lot of girls on this island that you can do things if you put your mind to it, no matter what. If you can trust yourself, you can do it. When I threw a passing touchdown, it felt really good to have that happen to me because me leading my team to victory was amazing and a great feeling, and I still relive that feeling to this day. There's a misconception where girls are kickers because they play soccer, they can kick really far, and a lot of them are kickers, which is also, I give them props because they have to still go to practice and they have to still perform at their absolute best. And having to get hit a million times but still getting up and still pursuing, I'm like, that's me, that's how I feel. And I am so excited that I get to meet these people every game.
Welcome back to Brockton as the Whalers in their season opener destroy Cardinal Spellman by a final score of 49-0. I'm DC Collins In for Chris Morris today, thanks to our entire production crew. But first, we got to say thanks for a wonderful performance from this guy, number 44, Russell Simpson. Russell, how's it feel to get off not only a shutout, but a 49-0 victory here on your first game?
Feels amazing, man. It's just like our first game, so we got to show them what's coming next, you know?
You had a couple of sacks today. The pressure was there all day for the Whalers. Cardinal Spellman just couldn't get anything going. How does that feel that you guys do your job on defense to set up the offense with possession in the territory of Cardinal Spellman?
It feels great. I mean, we got to do what we got to do to get the offense and score those points.
Coming into the season today, lots of practice. You guys shined in the scrimmages earlier, but to actually prove it on the field in the first regular season game, what does that mean to you and your teammates?
It means a lot. The whole team actually puts in a lot of work, especially the coaches and all the players in the summer and in practice, and it showed off.
The last couple of games against these guys have been close. This one, obviously, you win 49-0. What was Coach saying to you throughout the week practice leading up to this game today?
Coach was saying it doesn't matter what kind of team they are. We're going to play them like they're the best team we've ever played.
What are your hopes for this season? I know Coach's goal is to make the playoffs. You got the same goal? You want to go to the Super Bowl, or are you looking forward to Vineyard, or is it one game at a time?
I'd say one game at a time.
All right. Well, congratulations. Go enjoy with your teammates. You might get a break, too, and get an early boat home.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, we will see you next week. That is Russell Simpson, number 44 from Nantucket. Going to bring in Coach Reese right here. Coach, a 49-0 win over. Got to come a little bit closer because of our equipment. As Cardinal Spellman walks off the field. A 49-0 win against Cardinal Spellman. Let me ask you, it's an impressive victory, but did you anticipate this sort of dominance today?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, because that's what you were talking to with us. I know personally when we met down the street and also with Charles and Frank, you were saying dominate your opponent, dominate your opponent. Well, it only took you about 5 minutes to score the first touchdown, and then it was off to the races from there.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, you know, going into each week, like I told Russell, you know, we're going to take each opponent like this the best team we ever played, and it's going to be a week by week basis. So each week, you know, no matter you know who the opponent is, we're gonna mentally just put in our head, you know, this is the best team we're ever going to play. We're going to prepare like this is the best team, no matter you know what the name is on their jersey.
Well, let's talk about the conditioning, too, because it's hot and sticky out here. We saw some of the Cardinal Spellman players suffering from cramps, but you guys, it seemed like everything was on all cylinders. You guys were clicking on all cylinders today. How does that feel?
It feels great. You know, we try our best to keep our guys hydrated at all time. You know, keep them fresh and ready to go. And then I was telling one of your guys that you know we have strength in numbers right now. So when guys get a little banged up, we can plug in and mix and match guys, and you know we won't lose our rhythm. And that's the biggest advantage that we have right now as a program.
You know, this was a full team effort. Offensively, you scored plenty of touchdowns. You had a scoop and a score. You had an interception for a touchdown. Even special teams, your place kickers, both of them. 7 for 7 today on extra points. How key is that going forward?
I mean, it's huge. You know, our special teams coordinator, Von Machado, he works with these guys, you know, day in, day out. He's been, you know, a heart and soul of this program for a very long time. He's very passionate about what he does, so he takes special teams very serious. So, you know, I'm sure he's very happy about that.
You know, the one thing I heard you mention in the huddle just a few moments ago are the penalties, the unsportsmanlike penalties. Nobody likes to see it. That seems to be the only blemish in today's game, something that you might have to work on just a little bit going into next week's game.
Absolutely. We always want to worry about the little things, you know. Those are the things that are going to, you know, break us as a program. So if we can clean up, you know, unsportsmanlike penalties and just any penalties in general, we're going to be a really solid program.
This is a good one to get under your belt. 49-0 win at Cardinal Spellman, and you said the boys might even be rewarded with an earlier boat ride back to Nantucket.
Absolutely. Hope we can hop on that earlier boat.
All right. Hey, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. Thanks for letting us talk to Russell. We will see you next Saturday for the home opener at Vito Capizzo Stadium. All right. That is Coach Reese. Thank you so much for joining us here from Brockton this afternoon. As for Nantucket, a dominating performance, 49-0. They defeat Cardinals. I want to say thanks to the entire staff. We'll get to that in a second, but a soccer broadcast coming up against Nauset. That'll be this Wednesday at approximately 3:30. Our first soccer broadcast here on the NSC on NCTV. And then our next football broadcast will be Saturday starting at approximately 1 o'clock from Vito Capizzo Stadium on Nantucket, as the Whalers will open up at home against Carver, and Chris Morris will join you for that. I want to say thanks to Adriana, Charlie, Frank, Charles Douglas as well, the entire team here at NSC on NCTV. And for those of you watching at home or maybe at the beach today, we certainly appreciate it. Remember, you can donate to keep these broadcasts going. If you'd like to sponsor us as well for the NSC on NCTV, just stop by the NCTV offices on Dave Street across from the Chicken Box and Stop and Shop during regular business hours. We need your support to keep not only the football broadcast going, but also expand our coverage into softball, baseball, hockey, and soccer, which we'll have for you on Wednesday as well. I want to say also thanks to Sean Davis and Chris Morris, who couldn't be here with us today, but I know they're smiling over the shutout victory, 49-0. The Whalers win today over the Cardinals. For the entire staff here on site in Brockton, Massachusetts, my name is DC Collins. We will talk to you in just a few days. Thank you for watching Nantucket Whalers football as Nantucket wins 49-0 over Cardinal Spellman here in Brockton. Thank you so much, and thanks for watching the NSC on NCTV. Have a great afternoon, everyone.